Welcome to Founders Fortitude, Conversations with Audrie Dollins, a podcast where we uncover the raw realities of being a founder, celebrating the brilliance of the teams, individuals, and families working tirelessly behind the scenes, and explore the fortitude, the unwavering determination it takes to navigate the twists, turns, and triumphs of entrepreneurship and life itself. Each week, we will share candid conversations, actionable insights, and inspiring stories to empower you on your journey. Whether you're building a brand, scaling a business, an online creator and influencer, or pursuing your passions with relentless drive, let's dive into the grit, grace, and growth it takes to thrive. Let's get into it. Hi friends, thank you so much for joining in on this episode of Founders Fortitude, Conversations with yours truly, Audrie Dollins. I am a founder and CEO of Parlay Collective, a marketing agency located here in World Cup Plaza in Frisco, Texas. And we are constantly reading, educating, rereading. We have team members that's like, will you look this over? I think we say that all the time. And I hate interrupting them because there's so many things that we do on a daily basis that we have to make sure that everything that we're processing and putting out on behalf of clients is so detailed. And if you can tell by the way that I'm talking, I very much have this Southern accent. And I am going to tell you before we lead off into this whole podcast, what is the title of the podcast, what we dedicated this podcast to, as well as a blog post, is AI. And why I use it is we write and do things kind of like what is processing in our head and the way that we sound. For instance, the word y'all. Now maybe I do use it a lot. I don't know. Now it's going to make me second guess, but if I'm writing something, I want to be authentic to myself, but I want the grammar and everything to be correct. And there is so many nights that like my blog and newsletter, it's my priority. I love and always will put my clients first. My items will come last, even though I know this helps support my company and helps as a resource for so many. And my accounts and everything are very much important to me because that's how I founded and ran my businesses that grew into Parlay Collective. Now, however, my team is amazing, but I'm not going to interrupt them a lot for things for myself. Now, we are growing my accounts, and I'm so excited about bringing more content, but I like to check my grammar. And I was talking about, I've been adding a lot of workwear and items because that is me being authentic. What do I wear to the office every day? What makes me feel confident in meetings and dress, what I'm wearing, what I'm eating, being active, mental strength, health is so important. And so I was talking about some bras that I got in that are, the older I get, being comfortable. If you're not comfortable while you're at work, like, ew, And so anyway, I used AI to type up something and to check my grammar because I was trying to be funny, but like sometimes the jokes don't land, or I said something like it makes sense to me, but that, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense to me, but when others read it, it may not come across the same. So my team is busy, and like many people, we use, whether that's Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you use, right? And I put it in there, and I was like, do not change my words. And I say that, and this is what our conversation is going to be about. How do you use AI? And it's what you tell it. And I'm like, do not change my words. I only want you to correct my grammar. And is this landing full of understanding to someone that, what have you? So I'll ask it questions with something that I've already created. So I type it in there, and it's very important to me. Very. You can ask my team. I almost wish it's after hours, so they're not here, but I wish they were here to tell you how specific and precise I am and how very picky. And so I typed it in there. It populated like, your humor is still intact. What you dropped, your grammar is now corrected. I only changed this and this. So it's like, it gave me that sentence like, did not change this, your humor's still intact, copy it, take it, and I put it in my newsletter. And went and started, and if you ever seen my newsletters or our clients that we work with, brands, retail, if you ever see those newsletters, they're linked out. There's a lot of detail that goes in there, and that is what we do, and that is what I did for mine. And when I went to paste what I wrote, my idea, into the section that had already had it written out, but I wanted my grammar correct, and I'm just repeating myself because you have to hear this, I included the sentence, I did not change anything except I corrected your grammar, your humor still intact, and I put intact, I included that sentence within my newsletter, and I didn't realize it. Now, I looked over everything. Have you ever looked at something and read it over and over and over, and you still miss the grammar or the mistake or the misspell, but you've looked it over and over, and it's just now just accustomed, like you don't see it, but someone else can walk over in 2.2 seconds see it, but yet you've been staring at that forever. Look it all over, read it. I sent it out to thousands of people. And the thing that pissed me off is not that people knew that I used AI. Please, and this is where the conversation is going to go. But I didn't want them to think that wasn't me. I didn't want them to think that that wasn't my idea, that wasn't my joke, and I'm dropping it in ChatGPT and I'm not spending any time on it. Or will clients think that that's what we do? And first and foremost, there should be, for anyone, no grammatical errors with the technology that we have today. There should not be any. Now, design is a little bit harder because when you are designing in different platforms, Adobe, Photoshop, any of that, like they're not spell checking you when you're designing. But when you are typing and you are doing all of these things, there should be no grammatical errors because a lot of times right now, AI is built into a lot, whether you have Grammarly or anything like that. So when it went out, I was so like, I got because I've been adding some personal elements to my newsletter of my family, of my husband and I, and that's a big leap for me. And I had that photo, so the Sunday newsletter was going to be so great. Now, if you're looking in your inbox for that Sunday newsletter for my mess up, you guys, it's in there. And I was like, I'm wondering if anybody else has ever experienced this. Now, I know when back in the day that it came out, people were like, you're not using this, and da-da-da-da, and I understand the controversy of it. Is it taking people's jobs? I really, truly feel that you have to give it something to produce something. And in our industry, in marketing, I think it's important with the amount of dollars spent that we are using these platforms correctly with our ideas and for grammar, for how can I switch this word out. Sometimes there's a word that I use and I'm like, that just doesn't align with me, and I'm just going to tell you something. I know you ChatGPT'd it when you use the word ecosystem and ethos, okay? Don't. We know. The hyphen, we know. And that's where it gets me really protective because, it made me so mad. Look, this is real. It just made me so mad because I know the knowledge, the humor, the things that I pour into it, and that one outlook. So it had me thinking, how do people use it? How can you use it? What are the statistics on it? And so I started doing this research. Now you have to bear with me because I am going to read some things because I'm still putting these together that's going out in the blog. But there's some other things that roll out with these numbers too that I'm going to talk about too, about ChatGPT is about to, I received an email asking me if I wanted to run an ad on ChatGPT, and I have thoughts about that. Because a lot of people use chat for search engines, and we use things and we ask it things to educate us on. And so there's so many ways you have to approach this. But I'm going to give you some statistics that I just read that I think are very eye-opening. So, for instance, ChatGPT. So the blog title is the top AI platforms, how and why to use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and more to grow your business. And so with that said, let's look at ChatGPT. And this will, this is what I say, this will make you sit straight up, because ChatGPT crossed 900 million weekly active users in early 2026, which is more than double what it had been the year before. In June 2026, this month, it became the fastest app in human history to hit 1 billion monthly active users, and it now chews through more than 2 billion prompts every single day. So this is, everyone is freaking using it. This is not a trend. This is your plumbing. This is your framework. This is a part of everyone's lives. How are you using it? How are you using it to get things done? Because I didn't have to pull. Now, they're good. My team is good. They probably would have catch that. Marissa would have been like, girl, she would have got me. She would have teased me about it, and then she probably would have said something, are you going to cry? Because she does me that way, and I love her for it. Because I am pissed. I want to cry. How are you using it? And for us, let me tell you these statistics. 94% of marketers plan to use AI for content fail. Let's see. Let me read all these. Okay, teams are saving an average of 11.4 hours a week per person. That is a huge impact. 67% of small business owners and marketers are already using AI for content and SEO. Okay, with this many users, this knowledge, this is where I bring everything in. How you use it, read the blog post full of these statistics, different platforms, how you use it, what's the task, what's the format. I break all of these down, Chat, Claude, Gemini, all of those, and for what and for business. But my thing is it does save time. So instead of interrupting Marissa and team members to reread, I dropped that in there and I made an error. Where I was very upset about it is that it was my idea, and I didn't want anybody reading to think, literally, I'm calling myself out. I didn't want anybody to think that it wasn't my idea. And I think, just like anything, social media and how you use it. What are you entering it in? Are you asking for statistics? Where are these statistics coming from? When you ask it things, are you doing additional research for that? Here are some cautions that I put in the blog that I think are what I call it's the honest cautions. Because fact checking is important. AI sounds important. Okay, this is funny. Have you ever put an argument in ChatGPT and that meme that's going around? It's like, yep, your husband's wrong and this is why. Or that was so thoughtful of you to think that, and I can see where you're coming from. Like, it's going to support you. You're paying it, okay? Let's see. Verify. So your name. Don't put contracts in it. Don't put personal things in there. That this is a public platform. They pull from it. You can save things. So I tell it things. I'm not gonna lie. I cuss at it. I am like, don't you do that. You stop doing that. I might clip this part out because I do. I talk to it like it's a friend. I'm like, can I name you? Keep your tone. Put in some things for it to save in its memory. Who you are, what you do, your business. Tell it what not to do. Don't use those words, ethos, ecosystem, if that's not you. Only check my grammar when I drop things in here. And that's what I tell it. I mold it into who I am and to check my grammar, not to replace myself in my business. Because if you know me, you know I wouldn't say that. And everything that I create, and I'm telling you, this has been going across social media these past few days of like, stop making those AI graphics because all of them are looking the same. And you don't want to do that. I think there's a way that you can use it. I think certain things can save you time. there's certain things that in creating graphics and things, like I will remove someone for a collage or remove a hand. So I go through that. Another conversation starter I would like to talk about as we kind of move on to this podcast. I like to make my podcast short and sweet. I will put show notes in there with the blog, with things to be a resource for you. What I use, how I use it. Claude. Okay. Claude is for your apps. Let me tell you, your ideas, your generators for analytics and stats. Love Claude. But I want to talk about another spicy thing, and then I'll wrap this up. And I hope this is moving your ideas and thoughts, and that you're laughing at me that I got caught using it, but it was still my idea. I just get so frustrated about it. Anyway, I received an email about running an ad on ChatGPT, and it kind of hit me wrong. And I understand how they're going to do it. They showed an example that it would be at the bottom. Kind of like Google Ads when you're putting in and all of those things. And what scares me, like most people, and this, oh my gosh, I'm almost sounding like a conspiracy theorist, is if someone's researching something, because we ask ChatGPT a lot of things, are they going to populate who's paying for their response? Like, are you telling me this is the best X, Y, and Z because it is? Or did someone pay you to tell me that was the best? And that's the question I have. And obviously it's telling me that I won the conversation between me and my husband, so I think it's right. But that's where I get a little bit scared, where we can't not use our own brains. We can't not be correcting our own grammar. And I caught myself in it. And it just had me thinking. And how do you use AI? Has this ever happened to you? What are your thoughts about ads? The algorithms do on most things like Google, all of these places that pop up that give us, that are paid, that comes in our feed first when we're researching something. How far are you going beyond that as a person living in this world? And also, what are you putting out there and what are you using it for? And and not everything being the same. All of these graphics that have the same little, it looks the same. Stay authentic to yourself. Don't be afraid. Use it where you can still be you. And so anyway, that's what had me thinking. Let's talk about it. Who should I bring on to talk about it? So that's my thoughts on it. That is, after hours thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, I will link some great information in our show notes, including the blog that gives a rundown on how to do it. For instance, as we wrap up, what are you asking if you're helping it with your social media? Are you saying, write my Instagram post? Or are you saying, this is where I'm putting it. This is what it looks like. This is my goal. That is how I use it. This is my goal. This is what my verbiage is. This is my end game with this. Does it align with what I've already saved in there? So putting in that work, consistently reading what is coming out, but not just saying, do this for me. So think about it. I hope you comment your thoughts. Please subscribe, follow. I appreciate you tuning in. And as always, capture, brand, and engage. Let's do big things. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Founders Fortitude, Conversations with Audrie Dollins. For details and links from our incredible guests, be sure to check out our show notes. You might even find exclusive discounts and special items we shared that aren't even mentioned during the show. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. It truly helps us grow and continue sharing valuable insights with you. You can connect with me daily on Instagram at Audrie Dollins, AudrieDollins, and don't forget to visit my website at audriedollins.com, where you'll find years of blogs packed with tips and insights to help you thrive. As always, capture, brand, and engage, and let's do big things.